The mouths of the creature are joined, with the top portion opening and closing. In his 30 years of fishing in the Riverland region, Warwick had seen an occasional deformed fish here and there, but never one like this, and was shocked that it was still alive in the first place. The catch, coincidentally, came on the heels of several other crazy catches off the coast of Australia that happened in the first months of 2015. Considered a living fossil because they are the lone members of a prehistoric shark family that goes back 125 million years, goblin sharks are rarely seen near the surface of the ocean. They are even less likely to be caught by fishers. A crew defied the odds when they caught one in January of 2015 in Green Cape off the New South Wales coast. Eventually, the body of the shark ended up at the Australian Museum in Sydney. Goblin sharks can grow to be at least 13 feet long and are normally found throughout the world at depths greater than 330 Oarfish. A marine instructor was snorkeling in the waters of Toyon Bay off of Santa Catalina Island in October of 2013 when he found the carcass of an unbelievably big oarfish. The massive creature was a female who measured in at 18 feet long and was carrying thousands of eggs that were nearly ready to be released. Instructors and the crew of a sailing school vessel are pictured here holding the monster. The carcass led to more questions about the oarfish than answers. After examining the body, experts found that it had lost its tail while it was alive and had disc-shaped bites from cookie cutter sharks. But none of this would have been deadly. They couldn't find how it had died, but guessed that it had gotten too close to the surface of the ocean and was knocked around by waves. Something crazy happened in Sydney, Australia in 1935 that's hard to believe. Albert and Charlie Hobson left a baited fishing line off the coast of Sydney overnight. They came back the next morning to find a giant, angry tiger shark at the end of the line. The pair subdued the shark and took it to the nearby Coogee Aquarium, where it made for a great exhibit. After a week, the shark began to act strangely and suddenly had a violent struggle that ended in the beast regurgitating a human arm. Onlookers visiting the aquarium at the time got to see the event unfold right before their eyes. Experts determined that the arm had been cut off before being swallowed by the shark, and, thanks to a distinctive tattoo, that it belonged to Jim Smith. Smith, an ex-boxer, had been murdered and hacked into pieces before being stuffed into a trunk. Patrick Brady was arrested and charged with the killing, but was eventually acquitted due to a lack of evidence. Eventually, the story was turned into a book by Vince Shark. Dismissed as internet fodder when pictures were first released in 2011, it turns out that this shark and the images were very much real. Fisherman Enrique Lucero caught a pregnant, dusky shark near Cerralvo Island. After cutting it open, Lucero found 9 normal-looking babies and this deformed male embryo with one eye. The one-eyed baby also had albinism, no nostrils, a bump on its snout, and a crooked spine. Scientists explain that the shark had virtually no chance of surviving its birth. Fishing expert Ramian Salm pulled something out of the water that he assumed was seaweed. When he eventually got the catch onto his boat, he realized that it was moving around like an alien. Luckily, he captured a video of the strange creature to go along with his unbelievable story. After experts had examined the footage, they surmised that the creature must be a basket star, an invertebrate related to a starfish. Basket stars have 5 arms that sprout smaller appendages over time. The ocean dwellers have the ability to regrow their limbs if anything ever breaks them off. Lobsterman Alan Robinson headed out to sea from Bar Harbor, Maine in 2006, hoping to get a good haul. He ended up with a find that is considered a natural phenomenon. This lobster lacks blue and yellow pigment on one side of its body, resulting in its remarkably perfect color scheme. Lobsters often have uneven pigmentation, but such a perfect color divide is a 1 in a million occurrence. The crustacean eventually ended up in Maine's Mount Desert Oceanarium. Fishers were completely freaked out when their trawler's net caught a frilled shark in late January 2015 off the coast of Australia. The horrific-looking creatures were around 5 feet long and had rows of needle-like teeth and a gaping mouth. The crew had never seen anything like it in their lives. They are rarely observed in nature and are almost never caught as a living specimen. It's one of the few remaining in its family and can be traced back 80 million years. Frilled sharks can be found throughout the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans and typically live at very dark depths, as low as 5,000 feet. Seaside restaurants offer opah fish on their menus thanks to the fact that they occasionally get caught in commercial fishermen's nets. Sports fishermen have also been known to find them accidentally, but the occurrence is very rare. There is no commercial market for these fish because they don't swim in large schools. Anglers Armando Castillo, Joe Ludlow, and Travis Savala caught not one, but 3 Opa fish on the same day during a trip in early August of 2014. The humongous fish weighed 151, 180, and 124 pounds respectively, and were caught 125 miles southeast of San Diego. Number 4. Returned to send her on in Monhegan Island, Maine, in 2014, when she and her sister Nola decided to do an experiment. They tossed 10 bottles into the ocean to see if any would be found. A few months later, they received a reply from Cape Elizabeth, which was about 50 miles from the island. The pair didn't hear back from any of the other bottles and eventually forgot about their test. In May of this year, the girls were stunned to get a second reply, and this one was from a little farther away. A fisherman clear across the ocean in Spain found the bottle in 2015 and finally got around to writing a letter back to the 2 girls. The other 8 bottles are presumably floating along somewhere in the ocean. Swell shark. A fisherman pulled a bizarre-looking creature out of the ocean near Cabo, Mexico earlier this year. The pink alien-looking creature turned out to be an albino swell shark. The rare find had a massive belly with strange eyes. After catching the rare animal, the fisherman released the shark back into its ocean home. Swell sharks are known to engorge themselves with air to make it difficult for predators to swallow them, which explains the unusual creature's puffed-up belly. His friend's skull? While trawling near the mouth of the River Tyne, about 280 miles north of London in December of 2006, fisherman Barry Hunter found part of a human skull that belonged to Brian Allison. Hunter had known Allison, and the two were friends, according to Hunter. Allison and his brother were the only 2 people on board their trawler when it sank during rough weather on November 17, 2004. The wreckage of the boat was eventually found, but despite an extensive search, neither body was ever park shark. A fisherman at a port near Awashima Marine Park alerted park staff that he had spotted an odd eel-like creature swimming nearby. After combing through the ocean, workers caught a 5-foot-long female frilled shark that was still alive, though appeared to be in bad shape. Staffers moved the creature to a large seawater pool and filmed the rare catch swimming and opening its mouth. Unfortunately, the shark passed away shortly after it was put in the pool. Experts at the park, which is located south of Tokyo,